Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into Adani Enterprises Limited,
AEL.
AEL for short.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
they might not be a household name for everyone,
Right.
but their reach is pretty impressive.
Yeah, their reach is massive.
We're talking everything from energy and transportation to consumer goods.
Absolutely.
They've got their fingers in a lot of pies.
It's true. They're involved in so many sectors that touch our lives daily, even if we don't realize it.
Yeah.
From the airports we travel through to the renewable energy sector that's gaining traction globally, AEL is there.
Right. And they just released their Q1 FY25 report.
Yes, they did.
So we're going to take a deep dive into their ambitions,
Okay.
their wins, and maybe uncover some areas where they might need to step up their game.
Sounds good.
So,
Let's start with their expansion plans.
okay.
AEL is clearly aiming high, especially in the renewable energy sector.
Okay.
They're targeting 10 GW of solar module manufacturing capacity and an additional 3 GW for wind turbine manufacturing, all by FY26. That's a huge undertaking.
It is. And considering the complexities of the renewable energy market in India, I'm curious if this is a brilliant strategic move or if they're setting themselves up for potential challenges down the line. What do you think?
Well, it's definitely ambitious. On one hand, positioning themselves as a major player in the global shift towards renewables is a smart move. But on the other hand, the competition is fierce.
Right.
And they'll need continued government support and a solid strategy to truly thrive.
Okay, so a bit of a wait-and-see approach is needed there.
Yeah.
But it's clear they're not shying away from making big bets.
No, they are not.
And speaking of their ventures, let's look at some of their operational highlights.
Okay.
One thing that jumped out at me was the sheer volume of passenger traffic they're handling across their airports.
Right.
Over 90 million.
It's a lot of people.
That's a massive operation.
It really highlights the scale they're working at. And they're not just building airports, they're expanding aggressively.
Yeah.
They've added 39 new brands to their portfolio and a whole bunch of new routes and airlines.
Wow.
This suggests they're not just focusing on volume, but also on attracting specific demographics and potentially targeting a more affluent traveler.
Interesting. It seems like they're trying to curate a certain kind of travel experience.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's not just airports. Their infrastructure projects are equally impressive.
Oh, for sure.
Building a record 730 lane kilometers of road in just one quarter is a significant feat.
It's definitely noteworthy. This likely ties into India's overall push for infrastructure development. Improved road connectivity can have a ripple effect on the economy, boosting trade and overall growth.
Yeah.
So AEL's role in this cannot be underestimated.
All right, let's move on to the financial side of
Okay.
things. AEL reported a record EBITDA of RO's 4,300 crores,
Huge.
and their profit before tax jumped by 107%,
Wow.
with an overall income growth of 13%.
Yeah.
Those are some solid numbers.
They are, but what I found particularly intriguing was the fact that 62% of their EBITDA is coming from their incubating businesses.
Okay.
These are the newer ventures, the ones still in their growth phase. This diversification suggests AEL is looking beyond their established businesses and actively exploring new avenues for growth.
So they're not just resting on their laurels. They're taking risks and betting on new ideas. That's actually pretty impressive.
It is. It is.
But I did notice something a bit peculiar.
Oh.
They're being very tight-lipped about market trends and future financial guidance.
Yeah.
Why so secretive?
That's a great question. There are a couple of possibilities here.
Okay.
It could be due to the inherent volatility of the sectors they operate in.
Right.
Providing specific guidance in such unpredictable markets could be risky.
Makes sense.
On the other hand, the silence could be a calculated strategy to keep their cards close to their chest and avoid revealing too much to competitors.
Okay, so bit of mystery there. Before we move on, let's quickly touch upon some of AEL's upcoming projects.
Yeah.
The Navi Mumbai Airport is slated to be operational by March 2025. That's a major infrastructural undertaking that's progressing well.
Absolutely. And they're also expecting full production in their ingot and wafer plant by the next quarter.
Oh, wow.
These components are essential for solar panel production, and this move indicates AEL's commitment to controlling the entire solar energy supply chain from start to finish.
So they're not just assembling solar panels. They're getting involved in the manufacturing of core components.
Oh.
That's a bold move, showing a serious dedication to this sector.
Indeed. This vertical integration could give them a competitive edge and potentially reduce their reliance on external suppliers.
Okay.
However, it also means they're taking on more risk and complexity.
That's a great point. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out for them. We just covered a lot of ground regarding AEL's ambitions and successes, but no company is perfect.
Right.
Let's flip the script a bit
Okay.
and dive into some potential challenges they might encounter.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Well, their silence on market trends in the report is a bit concerning.
Okay.
It makes me wonder if they're fully prepared for the potential shifts and disruptions that could impact their various businesses,
Yeah.
especially given the volatility of sectors like energy and infrastructure.
Yeah. Right. It does make you wonder about their foresight
Yeah.
and how well they're anticipating future trends.
Hmm.
What other concerns do you have?
Competition is a big one. AEL isn't operating in a vacuum. They're facing pressure from both domestic and international players,
Right.
especially in the booming renewable energy sector.
Yeah.
This aggressive growth strategy is bound to attract attention.
And rivals.
And rivals.
So staying ahead of the curve and constantly innovating will be crucial for them.
Absolutely.
What else should they be wary of?
Navigating the regulatory landscape in India is another potential hurdle.
Okay.
Obtaining permits and approvals for their projects can be a complex and time-consuming process.
Oh, yeah.
Often with unexpected delays, any setbacks can directly impact their timelines and profitability.
That's a good point. Bureaucracy can be a real roadblock, even for a company as large as AEL.
Exactly. And while their track record shows they've been able to overcome obstacles in the past,
Yeah.
they need to be prepared for these potential challenges and have a plan to mitigate them.
So being adaptable and having a solid risk management strategy is key.
For sure.
But let's talk about that 62% EBITDA contribution from their incubating businesses again.
Okay.
That's a significant chunk of their earnings coming from relatively new ventures.
Right.
While it shows their willingness to innovate,
Yeah.
doesn't it also increase their risk exposure?
It absolutely does.
Mm.
While diversifying into new areas can lead to exciting growth opportunities, it also exposes them to the inherent uncertainties of emerging markets and technologies.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how they manage this delicate balance between pursuing growth and managing risk.
You mentioned competition earlier, and I'm curious to know more about the specific players AEL might be up against.
Yeah.
Are there any particular companies or sectors where the competition is particularly fierce?
In the renewable energy space, they face competition from established global players like First Solar and Jinko Solar, as well as ambitious domestic players like Reliance Industries.
Okay.
In infrastructure, companies like Larsen and Toubro and GMR Group are formidable competitors. And in their consumer goods businesses, they face a wide range of local and multinational players.
So they're essentially battling on multiple fronts. That's a lot to juggle.
It is.
How do you think this intense competition might impact their strategies and decision-making moving forward?
Well, they'll need to be laser-focused on their core competencies and make strategic decisions about where to allocate resources.
Right.
They can't afford to spread themselves too thin.
It's about picking their battles
Yes,
and focusing on the areas where they have a clear advantage.
precisely. They'll also need to be agile and responsive to changes in the market.
Yeah.
The companies that can adapt quickly and innovate will be the ones that thrive in this competitive landscape.
All right, so navigating the competitive landscape and managing risk are crucial for AEL. But let's not forget the human element. How do you see their workforce playing a role in their future success?
That's an important aspect that often gets overlooked. Attracting and retaining top talent will be critical for AEL.
Right.
They need to create a work environment that fosters innovation, collaboration, and professional growth.
Okay.
This will be especially important as they venture into new and emerging sectors where specialized skills and expertise are in high demand.
And it's not just about attracting talent, it's about nurturing it.
Exactly. They need to invest in employee development programs, provide opportunities for upskilling and reskilling, and create a culture that values and rewards continuous learning.
So creating a positive and supportive work environment will be key to their long-term success.
Absolutely. And it's not just about attracting top talent. It's also about ensuring that their workforce is diverse and inclusive.
That's a great point. Diversity of thought and perspective can be a huge asset for any company, especially one operating in as many sectors as AEL. It can foster innovation, improve decision-making, and help them better understand and connect with their diverse customer base.
They can also make them more resilient to changes and challenges. A more diverse and inclusive workforce can bring a wider range of perspectives and experiences to the table, which can be invaluable in navigating complex and unpredictable environments.
So AEL needs to be proactive in building a diverse and inclusive workforce. It's not just a matter of ticking boxes. It's about creating a culture where everyone feels valued and respected.
I agree. And it's not just about creating a positive work environment. It's also about ensuring fair and equitable treatment for all employees. This includes things like pay equity, access to opportunities, and protection from discrimination and harassment.
Those are important considerations. It sounds like there's a lot at stake for AEL, and managing these challenges effectively will be crucial for their continued success.
It definitely won't be easy. They'll need to be strategic, adaptable, and proactive in addressing these challenges head-on.
So AEL has a lot to consider as they move forward,
Yeah,
but they also have a lot of potential.
exactly. They're a company with ambitious goals, a diverse portfolio, and a track record of overcoming challenges. It'll be fascinating to see how they navigate the road ahead.
I agree. Now let's shift gears and zoom out a bit. What does AEL's growth mean for the Indian economy as a whole? So we've talked about AEL's ambitions, their operations, their challenges, and even touched upon their workforce. Now let's broaden our perspective. What does AEL's growth trajectory mean for the Indian economy?
Well, AEL's success is undoubtedly a positive indicator for India's economic landscape. I mean,
Yeah.
they're creating jobs, investing heavily in infrastructure, and directly contributing to economic growth.
Right.
This is particularly significant as India aims to solidify its position as a major player on the global stage.
Their focus on renewable energy seems particularly relevant, given the global shift towards cleaner energy sources.
Yeah.
How do you see their involvement impacting India's energy landscape?
Well, AEL's investments in solar and wind energy could significantly contribute to India's transition towards a cleaner energy future. Not only does this align with global sustainability goals, but it also has the potential to reduce India's dependence on imported fossil fuels, enhancing their energy independence and security.
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
It's not just about environmental benefits.
No.
It's about strategic economic positioning as well.
Absolutely.
But let's not forget that AEL is operating within a larger ecosystem.
Right.
How do you see their growth affecting other businesses and industries in India?
Well, their expansion has a ripple effect. As they grow, they create opportunities for other businesses,
Yeah.
suppliers, contractors, logistics providers, and many more.
Okay.
This can stimulate economic activity across various sectors, leading to a more robust and diversified economy.
So it's not just about AEL's individual success. It's about their role in fostering a more vibrant and dynamic economic ecosystem.
I think that's a great way to put it.
But with such rapid growth, are there any potential downsides or concerns that we should be aware of?
One potential concern is overdependence on a single company.
Okay.
While AEN's growth is positive, it's important for India's economic stability to have a diverse range of successful companies.
Right.
Across various sectors, over-reliance on any single entity can create vulnerabilities.
That makes sense. Spreading the risk and fostering a competitive environment where multiple players can thrive is crucial.
It is.
What other aspects should we be mindful of as AEL continues to expand?
Another consideration is the environmental and social impact of their operations.
Okay.
While renewable energy projects generally have a positive environmental impact, it's essential for AEL to ensure that their projects are developed and implemented in an environmentally sustainable manner,
Right.
minimizing any negative consequences.
Right. A balanced approach is key. They need to demonstrate that their growth aligns with responsible environmental practices.
Yeah.
And what about their social impact? How are they engaging with the communities they operate in?
Engaging with local communities and ensuring that their projects benefit the surrounding populations is vital for AEL's long-term success.
Okay.
This includes creating job opportunities, supporting local businesses, and addressing any concerns or issues raised by the communities affected by their projects.
So transparency, open communication, and a genuine commitment to sustainable and inclusive practices are essential.
Yeah.
These aren't just nice-to-haves. They're critical for building trust and ensuring their continued growth.
Absolutely. AEL's actions are being watched not only by investors, but also by the public communities and regulatory bodies.
Right.
Demonstrating a commitment to ethical and sustainable practices will be crucial for maintaining their reputation and ensuring their long-term viability.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners? What should they be paying attention to as AEL continues to evolve and make its mark on the Indian economy?
I think it's important to observe how AEL addresses the challenges and concerns we've discussed.
Okay.
Are they transparent in their operations?
Yeah.
Are they actively engaging with stakeholders? Are they genuinely committed to sustainable and inclusive practices? These actions will ultimately determine not only AEL's success, but also the broader impact they have on the Indian economy and beyond.
It sounds like AEL is at a pivotal point in its journey. Their decisions and actions in the coming years will have a significant impact, not just on their own business, but on India's economic and energy landscape.
Exactly. They have the potential to be a driving force for positive change, but it's important to remember that with great power comes great responsibility.
Well said. And as always, we encourage our listeners to stay curious, stay informed, and continue to dive deep into the complexities of the business world. There's always more to learn. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Adani Enterprises. Until next time.